We'll start the meeting at 6:10. All right, folks, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Pulaski County Republican Committee October meeting. Ask y'all to please stand. You can do the invocation. Ask Walter to do that. Get this microphone off.
If you will, all men remove your covers, bow your heads. Lord God, we thank you for your presence here. We pray that this meeting goes well, that it goes quickly, and Lord, that we get our business done and that we hear what the speakers have to say. Lord, we pray that you would bless us as we bless this community, this county, this state, and this country, and indeed the world. And we pray all these things in the name of your Son, Jesus, and we all said, Amen. All right.
I've asked Rick McKay to lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, now we're going to do the roll call of present members and proxies. Of course, as you can see, we do have an agenda. There has been a lot of stuff that has gone on. We could try to, what we're going to do is try to do business, and then if you have any motions or resolutions regarding any issues, they are at the end of the agenda. Of course, we have two guest speakers. They'll have about 10 minutes each, and then we'll go from there. So let me hand the mic over to Jill.
All right, so I have been talking a lot and was not able to get all of your proxies written down. So I'm just gonna go through the roll. If there's a proxy, just please go ahead and announce it. And I'm sure I'll probably have it up here if you gave it to me. Okay, Angie Fisher. Allison Allen.
Here.
Jim Anglin.
Here.
Marilyn Anglin.
Here.
Glenn Ballard.
Proxy.
Okay. Paige Ballard.
Here.
Teresa Blue.
Present.
Jim Bell. Laura Bell. Carolyn Brown. Mel Chapman.
Here.
Sylvia Chapman.
Here.
Darla Cobb. Dale Cockleasure. Phyllis Cockleasure. Donna Cox. Bob Craig.
Here.
Joanne Craig.
Here.
Dale Custer.
Here.
Gary Davis. Kay Dillahay. Tansel Dillahay. Liz Edwards.
Here.
Stephen Finnegan, I know he's gonna be late. Barbara Fisher. Dale Flamen.
Here.
John Kretz.
Here.
Malcolm Polk. John L. Fulmer.
Proxy. Teresa Blue.
Okay, thank you. Linda Goff. Rick Goff. Kevin Gorman.
Here.
Sloan Breland. Ginger Griffin. Shara Hampton.
Here.
Mary Ann Harrington.
Here.
Belinda Harris Ritter's proxy, I did see that. All right. Ed Herrera.
Here.
Pamela Hooper.
Here.
Anita House. Joan Huffman. Raymond Jarvis. I'm sorry, I skipped one. Iverson Jackson.
Here.
Shirley Jarvis. Dane Justice III. Dane Justice IV. Jackie Kaufman.
Here.
Joe Keaton. AJ Kelly. Jamie Landis, proxy by Reed Martin.
Here.
Rick Langston.
Here.
Susan Lugo. And Felipe Lugo, like they were proxy. Kathy Manzak. Scott Manzak. Reed Martin.
Here.
Mike Masuko. June Matheny. Seth Mays. Becky McHughes. Kimberly McKay, I saw where you proxy to her. Thank you. And Rick McKay.
Present.
Susan Metters. Barbara Mills. Dennis Mills. Diane Mullers.
Here.
Kathy Mueller. Carla Nettles.
Here.
Angie Wynn. Mary Owen. Christian Olson. Vicki Payne. Matt Picard.
Present.
Harry Pratt.
Here.
Bo Renshaw.
Here.
Sue Reynolds. Mary Rock.
Here.
David Scott.
Proxy. David Sterling.
Thank you. Kathy Schultz. Tom Schultz. Mary Silfies.
Proxy. Jackie Kaufman.
Thank you. Clay Smith. Simone Snyder, I know she moved. Robert Steinbeck, Daryl Stevens,
Here.
Jennifer Stevens, Roy Stevens, Foxy, okay.
Yeah, Jennifer was proxy, but Sylvia.
Jennifer and Roy, I think, both, right? Yeah, okay, thank you. David Sterling,
Here.
Janelle Sturmer,
And here.
Walter Sturmer,
Here.
Phil Stowers, Anna Swallow, Rob Thompson and Nikki Thompson are proxy by Carla, Vicki Tuttle,
Here.
Kenny Wallace,
Here.
Doc Washburn, Carrie White, Michael White, Chris Williams, and did I miss anybody? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda is the correction and approval of minutes of the previous meeting. Just need a simple motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Third.
Moving second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, moving right along, we have our treasurer's report. Right over to Jackie.
All right. So we've got a cash balance of $15,558.74. And this month we have, the outreach committee has spent $1,083 on I-360. So we went ahead and got a month subscription with email addresses for voter outreach. And we also spent $65 on a table at the gun show in Conway. And outstanding expenses, we've got $50. I just read a check to the RPA for booklets for the gun show in Conway and for that table. And then we wrote a check to the Democrat Gazette for $141 for an ad for the filing period.
Right. Moving around the line, we have go through members, we have guest introductions. Do we have any guests here? Yes.
I'm Brian Seeley. I just wanted to stop in and see how it's.
All right. All right, yes, sir.
Jim Gervais, recent transplant from coastal North Carolina, was the vice chairperson of the Turk County North Carolina Republican Party. And wondering where y'all were meeting and when, and finally figured it out, so I'm here to check it out.
All right, welcome. All right, yes, ma'am.
Mayor School Board, I'm here on behalf of 34USA.
All right, any other guests? Yes, sir.
Nicholas Schwab's.
All right, welcome.
Got my wife Pete Sterling here with me tonight.
All right, welcome. All right, any other guests? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Valerie Clark, and I'm the county judge from Lafayette County, and I'm here with Ms. Kathy.
Oh, welcome. Any other guests? So, yes. All right, welcome. Any other guests? All right, if not, are there any new members? No. Or nominations for new members? I can see none. So we move along in the agenda here. Do we have any reports from any legislators or members of the quorum court or any of the city, county, or school governors, officials here? The elected officials, any report from the election commissioners? I'll get them here. All right, seeing none. Of course, our county committee has several different committees within it that deal with this. We have, are there any reports from any of the Pulaski County Republican committees, subcommittees?
Okay, I'm Jackie Kaufman, co-chair of the Outreach Committee, and we met on October 6th. One of the goals of the Outreach Committee is to grow our committee. And so with the subscription to I-360, we're gonna do an email blast, a big swipe to maybe 20,000 hard Republicans. And so Matt Picar is heading up the management, the filtering of I-360. He created an invite, which is displayed here. It's actually a pretty blue color, but it just invites someone who's like-minded, lets them know when the meetings are here. And so again, this invitation will go out to 20,000 or so Republicans soon. And then we'd like to create a messaging campaign. Once we download the data, we'll be able to maintain that data. And then throughout next year, we can create messaging campaigns. We've got the primary coming up and the general, so we can target certain voters and send emails out to those voters. In addition, we'd like to layer that with maybe some phone bank outreach. And we'd also want to consider mailers to, again, those hard Republicans. So that is our voter email campaign. And then this is a voter outreach event that's coming up pretty soon. Not this weekend, but next. And it's the Conway Gun Show. We've got a table there, and I've got a few volunteers, but I'd love it if you'd come up and tell me that you'd like to come out and just, come to the table for about an hour or two, and, let's just make it exciting. I'm gonna try to bring as many materials as I can. Voter registration will be one of the things we're gonna do. And we're gonna get materials from candidates running for office and also our own committee membership information. And then the last thing is Thurlow Cobb. I wish he were here, but he's got a great visualization about reaching voters, and it's a voter outreach, education idea. And he was talking to a couple of barbershops, so stay tuned for that. And that would just
He's doing a tour, so he's going to do each one of them.
yeah,
Do a small piece of education each one.
right. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. That's all I have.
Yes, ma'am?
We spent a lot of time last month discussing the fair, because there's no fair for food. And I'm not understanding why we're going to Faulkner County to a gun show. Did I miss that here? A gun show in Faulkner County?
So I'm happy to answer your questions. The state fair, they start applications back in February, so we were just on a waiting list. The other thing is you have to man that booth, if you get one, from 10 a.m. in the morning until 9 p.m. at night. So we just don't have that level of volunteerism yet. In Conway, on West Markham, where I go work out, there's a big display for the Conway Gun Show. So they advertise throughout central Arkansas, and I talked to the promotional person, and it's well attended by Pulaski County.
There'll be plenty of people during hunting season.
Yeah.
All from
So-
Pulaski County.
So that's the reason.
All conservatives.
All right. Are there any other reports from any other Pulaski County Republican committees? All right, seeing none, and moving right along, we have two guest speakers. The first one, as you see on the agenda, is Kathy Harden Harrison. She is a candidate for Arkansas Secretary of State. So I will just give her the mic and let her speak.
Thank you for allowing me to come here and visit with y'all this evening. Drove in from Texarkana, left work a little early.
Go Hogs.
Can you hear me?
Go Hogs.
So I'm here to talk about my race at running for Secretary of State. I'm currently the county judge of Miller County, which is Texarkana. I'm serving my second term. And I'm going to do something a little different tonight. I want y'all to know me and the work that I have done. And I believe in my heart, for everyone in this room, you are here because you want secure elections. You want a safe and secure capital, and we want business and commerce. Everyone here should agree with that. We want that. How we get there may be a little different, but we want that. So I want you to know me and know what basically you're getting if you vote for me for county judge. I've worked for Miller County.
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State.
Well, and I do have a tendency to flip Capitol and courthouse because I say courthouse security every day at work because they're under me. So forgive me if I flip Capitol and courthouse. I went to work for Miller County back in the 90s, and I love my county. I was born and raised in Miller County. I love Arkansas. County government was my passion and is my passion. I have worked for most of the offices in the courthouse up until about the year 2003, I moved to Camden for a few years, and I worked for a judge there as a district probation officer for district court. And I moved back to Texarkana, went to work for the state. I was administrative assistant to the warden for the Department of Corrections. And then in 2013, I decided to run for tax collector. I ran and I won. I beat the Democrat. I was the first elected Republican collector in Miller County. After I get in there, I'm one of those that I turn everything upside down. I learn it inside and out. And one day I'm looking at the delinquent taxes. This is my first term. And I'm like, wow, $10 million in outstanding taxes that are due in Miller County. What's up with that? So I start looking into it, and I don't know why it got in my head or where it came from. Somebody might put it there. But I thought, you know what? A lot of these people live here. How are they still getting their car tax if they owe delinquent taxes? I mean, and they went back to the 80s. So I got the bright idea that I'm going to list every one of these names on Facebook, on my Facebook page. And I did it. And guess what? Within that year, we got $1.5 million collected in taxes that went back to the 80s and 90s. I will say that the next morning, you know, I'm one that I love to work. When I got to the office, I had 3 TV stations, every blogger and internet news person in my office. I walked in the door, it was like microphones in my face. But, you know, my thought was, if I pay my taxes, you should pay yours too. So I ran again for collector, and I won that race. Actually, I was opposed. And the more I came to Little Rock, the more I learned. You know, counties learn by coming to the Capitol and to Little Rock. But that's where we find out new legislation, keep up with legislation, and voice our concerns if we don't agree with legislation. So I'm coming up here and I'm learning things, and I'm taking it back to our county judge, who happened to be a very good friend of my dad's. My dad was JD for about 14 years. So I come to him, I'm like, we need to do this. Miller County, we're so far behind. And we need to jump on this. And he just was not interested in doing anything. So one day, it was August before the filing, I walked in his office and I said, Judge, this isn't personal, but I'm going to be running against you for county judge. And I ran and I won by 56% of the vote. I'm the first Republican female county judge in Miller County, the first female county judge in the state of Arkansas. When I ran, I was the only female county judge for one term, 4 years. Now we have 4. Happy to say we have a lot more money. But I just believe in working and moving forward. And so as county judge, I came in, we are Republicans. We believe in cutting waste. I cut Miller County general funds by 24%. I'm not in a position to lower taxes, but I have cut waste, which is what I have the authority to do as a county judge. Investment, we've not thrown away our money. Our investment fund when I became county judge was 1.8 million, now it's up to like 4.3. I even went so far, you can put in that 24%, that when we had a big flood, we had to totally evacuate our courthouse. And all of our constitutional officers were in the courthouse, all 3 of our circuit judges, prosecuting attorney's office, and we had to abandon it because we had to freeze in 2021. It burst our pipes, and we had to do a 1.5 year remodel. And we got off track. But anyway, I cut the budgets, but when we moved back into the courtroom after we had done a 2-year, we had to move out for a 1.5 years. I'm looking at the bills, and I'm like, oh my gosh, man, every one of these offices had cable TV. Well, you know me, I'm like, we're here to work, we're not here to watch TV. So I had all the cable TV cut out of all the offices. It's just the little things like that. As Republicans, that's our job. I mean, that's what I was elected to do. That's what I promised Miller County I would do when I ran for office. As a county judge, and this will vary by county because it's set by legislation, but legislatively, the election coordinator, I believe the coordinator, is under the county judge. But by ordinance, it can be moved to under the county clerk. Well, in Miller County, it's under the county judge. So I currently oversee the elections in Miller County. I oversee the security and the grounds of our courthouse. And I oversee business and commerce that comes to our county. So this job is what I already do now as a county judge, just on a larger scale. And I promise you that if you vote for me and elect me, I will make that same promise to you. I will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I will give you 110%. I am always available. I always answer my call. And I'm running on my record. Thank you.
Can you expand a little bit on what you mean when you say you want to, we're interested in election integrity? Can you tell us what you've done there? Have you done anything in Miller County to bring about election integrity? And what do you plan on doing at the state? How do you feel about President Trump's executive order to go to paper ballots, 1-day voting, same-day voting, and ID? What's your position on those?
Okay, well, my position is we have paper ballots. But I do believe that if a county wants to go to paper ballots, okay, so I've been around counties for a long time, and I know that you can stack the deck. And what I say is you get your people elected as JPs. And I know there's one county that the JPs voted to go to paper ballots. And I had people reach out to me from that same county saying, it scares us. So for right now, I would say that we have paper ballots. I think there's always room for improvement. We need to always
What do you mean we have paper ballots?
Well, when you go to vote, you get that printout. And you can check that, and it will have the list of the candidates that you voted for on there.
Are you aware that those printouts are, that they're actually barcodes?
Yes, sir.
And it is a proprietary barcode that only ES&S voting system has that barcode, so
Yes, sir.
there's no way.
But I do not agree with that. I mean, I am not in a position right now to change anything. I do
Well,
think
you
we
will be
should
a
have,
Secretary of State,
I do
right?
think we should have access to the barcodes, absolutely. But for me, as a county judge, there's some things I would want to know. How much is it gonna cost my county? Millen County is,
About 10%, according to President Trump. It's about 10% of the current cost of using the machines.
right, to see our machines, most county machines are already paid for. So it's gonna be an increase because of the labor. So I would need to see the numbers, but what it's gonna cost my county, and I know every county is different. Some counties, money's no object, but you take Miller County, Lafayette County, if you increase it, you know, our budgets we don't have the money to handle that.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I'm a little unclear as to what a Secretary of State, your powers and responsibilities would be. So what, could you briefly?
You oversee the elections.
Okay.
As each county certifies their ballots, they go to the state level where they're recertified.
Okay. And what specifically do you want to change about about how things are currently run?
I want to continue running it smoothly. I'm all about technology. I just had an interesting conversation with some, right? Things I will be honest, I do not understand all the interlocal things of a computer, like, what was your name again? But I do want to see continued secure elections. I think every vote should be counted and counted only once. And they also oversee Capitol and grounds, which is what I currently do now. I oversee the courthouse security and the grounds, and business and commerce. All businesses come through the Secretary of State's office. Small businesses are our backbone. I think there's a lot we can do there too. It currently takes, 6 to 8 days to get registered online. I think that's way too long. So I would love to see our website updated, a lot of red tape cut, make it easier for our businesses. And I guess that's the main thing is the elections.
Thank you so much for speaking.
But I humbly ask for your support and your vote.
All right. And we have another guest speaker. This is Meg Kilgore from Turning Point USA. She is the field rep. I'll just hand her the microphone when she gets settled first. A little bit of time to set up. Also, this meeting is currently being live streamed on Rumble. This is Just the Right Angle. You can see a copy of this. It was displayed earlier. Don't know. I didn't touch anything. So.
Sure.
Actually, while she's setting that up, as you see here, we have filing periods that have been, it's on the agenda. It'll start Monday, November 3rd through noon of 4:30. It gives instructions there. If you want to speak a little bit while it's, look at, what's it?
Okay,
So, like he said, my name is Meg Kilgore, and I am the Turning Point USA College Field Representative over the Ozark Territory, which is all of Arkansas. So I drive quite a bit. And so today I'm going to be giving like a presentation about how you as individuals can get involved with our movement. I know that I'm sure that all of you were moved by Charlie's assassination, and yeah, so I hope you feel moved enough to help us out here. Okay, so this is the ways to find your voice and get involved with Turning Point USA. Okay, that's me. My name is Meg. So yeah, so that's my title, that's my email, that's my Twitter, and that is my Instagram. So that is the entire territory's Instagram, and I try to post at least 4 times a week to keep everybody updated. Yeah. Okay, so that's me. This is my whole journey with Turning Point USA. So my accent's not really from here. I'm originally from Alabama. I went to Mississippi State University. So this is one of the very first events I ever hosted. We did an election party watch night in 2024, so we had a great time that night. Yes, so, and this is all of my old friends who were also in Turning Point USA across Mississippi and Alabama. That is one of my first days as a field rep. That is me leading a chapter meeting dressed as George Washington. Yeah. That's me meeting Brett Cooper. If y'all don't know who she is, y'all all need to look her up. And that's me meeting Topher. And if you don't know who that is, you need to look him up. And then this is one of my lovely coworkers, Hannah. And this is my entire team up at the top left. Well, my left or right. So yeah, that is me. That is my journey with Turning Point USA. So I decided to get involved as a student. So I'm a little spunky, you kind of have to be to work for Turning Point USA and to talk to college kids all day. So I started my journey by literally jumping over a Turning Point USA table in order to argue abortion with a girl who wouldn't want to argue with a bunch of guys who were tabling. So that is how I got started, which is a little bit more dramatic than most people, but that's me. And then I originally was going to go to vet school, but our lovely dean of students at Mississippi State decided that gay students were more important than white women. So yeah, he admitted a bunch of those. And so DEI went out against me, and so I decided to work for Turning Point. Yeah, much better, right? Okay, so I just kind of went over that, but my why, which is what we like to call like our motivation, is protecting children as a woman. I hope to be a future mother one day, and I don't want I don't want to not trust schools to have my children. So that's my big thing, is trust in schools and like trust in kids' media, as well as abortion and the trans issue. So that's what really motivates me, is protecting children on and off campus. So yeah, so what we say is we are doing the work to save America, much more important job than being a veterinarian, if I do say so myself. So yeah, so that's what all of our email signatures are, because we are doing the work to save America. We are transforming Gen Z. Gen Z is one of the most conservative generations in the longest time, and that is because of Turning Point USA. Thank you. Thank you guys. So this is basically like an overview of Turning Point USA. So we are organized and operated exclusively for educational and charitable purposes in accordance with Section 501c3 to empower informed and civic and cultural engagement grounded in American exceptionalism and a positive spirit of action. Turning Point USA guides citizens through development of knowledge, skills, values, and motivation so they can meaningfully engage in their communities to restore traditional American values like patriotism, respect for life, liberty, family, and fiscal responsibility. Okay, so what does that mean? Basically, we empower students to act and we work on education because I don't know if y'all know this, but college is pretty much like an echo chamber of liberal ideology. So what we do is we go to campus, we bring speakers to campus, and we say, hey, let's challenge this ideology that you all just repeat back to each other. Let's go and challenge it, okay? Oh, I should call the man wearing a dress a girl because he says he is? Let me challenge that. So yeah, so we just like challenge people. We're most known for our debates, I'm sure you know. And so we empower students to have open dialogue and open conversations against people that they don't like. I personally had some very interesting experiences with the Queer Club over in Portsmouth today. Mostly they were nice, but there was a few that were not so nice. And I just think it's important to go into these liberal spaces to challenge these ideas because otherwise we demonize each other. Okay? If you were to ask me yesterday, hey, the Queer Club at Turning Point or at the Turning Point USA table at UFIS is going to come and talk to you, I would have had a negative connotation about it. And we actually both walked away not hating each other. So open dialogue is super important, and it's just so important to talk to people who don't agree with you because then you get better arguments for your ideas. Like we know we're right, but we need better arguments.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the history of Turning Point USA. In 2012, so we're barely over 10 years old, Turning Point USA was born. It was a pivotal moment in our country which provided a voice for the youth, challenging the norm and sparking real change, and we are the grassroots movement protecting Western civilization. So we do a lot of hard work. What I do is not easy every day, going and getting yelled at college campuses, but it is so worth it because what are we doing? We are doing the work to save America, right? Right. Okay. And then that's the video. Okay. So this is our mission. It is to educate, identify, and empower. Those are our three main branches that I'm going to go off on our three secondary branches. So first of all, we want to educate students. Why? Why do we want to educate college students? They're getting an education, right? Wrong. Okay? Like I said earlier, it's an echo chamber. So we want the students to learn the importance of free speech, the Constitution, because guess what? That's not really taught. You have students who are talking about how important Indigenous Peoples Day is and not respecting Columbus and everything that he did for the founding of our country, right? Right. So we want to teach real American history, which is the difference. We want to teach American history in a way that instills a sense of pride because we should be proud to be Americans. We should be proud. America is the greatest country in the nation, or in the world. Arkansas is one of the greatest states in the nation. So we should be proud. Right. Yes. So using innovative marketing techniques like social media and strategic outreach methods like tabling, Turning Point USA has expanded our presence across the nation and is growing rapidly. I'm going to go into some stats in a minute. But the second thing we do is identify student activists who believe in limited government and individual liberty and want to take a stand. When I was a student, I was not that person. My field rep identified me and called me to action, and now I do it for a living. Okay? And then we empower young activists to get involved, and that's just through motivation, helping them out when they get down, that sort of thing. Okay, and then we organize young activists in networks across the country. So we believe that there's strength in organization. If you're disorganized, you're not going to accomplish anything. And so there's no point in wasting time being disorganized. The second thing we do is to mobilize students. So we empower them to take action, right? And then we register students to vote. Obviously, if you don't vote, you can't complain. That's what I always say. Okay, so this is our national field program. So this is the speaker event. We do all sorts of fun stuff. We table, those are some pocket constitutions. Yeah. So we do a lot of tabling, a lot of speaker events and activism events. I did not have time to add in the activism events, but We did just do a dirty soda bar and a football game at University of Arkansas and Harding. Okay. So Freedom Warriors on campus are standing up against the chaos. Currently, we have over 1,300 Turning Point USA chapters at colleges across the nation. That number was 900 in the past month or so. It has grown to 1,300. Speaking from my experience in Arkansas, we went on from September 9th, I had 9 chapters. I now have 33. Okay. Yes. It's been rapidly growing. I've had over 650 students reach out wanting to start Turning Point chapters. So I either help them get plugged into a chapter or help them start a chapter. We ended last year with 1,200 high school chapters. That number's way higher now. I don't even have an estimate. It's probably over 1,500. We had 620,000 student activists. Again, that number has grown massively. 38,000 tour attendees from last year, 56 employees. That number is still the same. And we are just getting started. Yeah. So, why is it important to get involved? Look at all this fun stuff that we do. Don't y'all want to be a part of that? I'm just saying, okay, so this is Charlie and his American Comeback Tour. This was last semester, so both of these are of Charlie's tour. So we're hoping to get back to that, the Prove Me Wrong style debates, where we sit behind a table and we challenge whoever comes up to a debate. Those are really fun. And yeah, so then we just table and we host events like that. And then you can get involved with your local college chapter, or you can help with tour stops, all sorts of things. Okay, so this is how you can get involved on both the high school and the college side. I'm the college rep, so I don't know that much about high school, but I would love to help you get in contact with our high school field rep, Allison. She's fantastic. So you can encourage students to start a chapter. You can become an advisor or a sponsor. Most clubs in the high school side need a sponsor outside, kind of pushing the board and the administration to force them to have a Turning Point chapter. You can train students on how to have civil discourse. So training students how to stay calm, stay motivated, empower students in activism. So do voter registration drives. Make sure every classroom has a flag. These are things that high school students can do. And then connect with the Turning Point USA High School Field Rep, which is Allison. College, connect with me. Encourage college students to join or start a chapter on campus. I believe we have one at every college in Pulaski County. I think that's the case. Don't quote me on that. But I believe we have one at every single college. Sponsor or donate to a Turning Point USA chapter or a territory. Attend a local Turning Point chapter meeting or event. We do have one coming up. Riley Gaines is coming to UCA in November. I know that's Faulkner, but it's a 45-minute drive. I just drove it. And then you can attend conferences or support Turning Point students to be able to go to them. That's through sponsoring, help them pay for their flights. Most of our conferences are in Phoenix. It's expensive to fly. They're broke. They're college students, okay? Yes. So that's how you get involved. And if you have any more questions about this, you can come ask me after. And then we have 2 different departments. We have Exit, which is our conservative minority movement. It is the minority exit from victim mentality. And then we have our faith department, which is empowering Christians to put their faith into action. So that empowers pastors to stand up for what they believe. Pretty much. Yeah. And then if you have any questions, you can scan that QR code that has most of what was on the slides. Or you can come ask me right now or after, depending on timing.
We can take a few questions. Yes, sir. Quick question, 2 parts, but it should be quick. Number 1, how do y'all decide where you go do your events? Number 1. And then the follow-up question to that is, I'm the 2nd Congressional District Minority Chair. So my question for you there is, with the colleges that you have chapters, are any of those any of our HBCUs?
We do not have one at Pine Bluff yet. We used to have one. We did used to have a Turning Point chapter there. We do not currently have one. I would love to help get one started. Right now, my one contact there is not responding to me at all. So if you know anybody,
And we do have 3 HBCUs here at Pulaski.
which ones are technically HBCUs?
So Shorter College, Lander Smith, and Arkansas Baptist.
We do not have chapters at any of those. We have chapters at Pulaski Tech, Euler. We have chapters at the big ones, not the smaller ones. Yes, but I would love your help in getting them started.
Let's go.
Perfect. Any other
Anybody
questions?
else? Yes, sir.
You create programs or association with different student unions, bodies, so that they compete at the student union college. Remember, the student union is usually the basement of the political party. At the end, they are going to be the future of the Republican parties.
Are you talking about like young Republicans?
I'm talking about, yeah, well, the Republicans or be specific, universities, they have elections, the student elections. And
Yes.
They have the student unions.
So we have what's called the Campus Victory Project, where we help fund campaigns for our students to run for like Senate and like those kind of things. We don't do homecoming, but we do Senate and that sort of thing. And for young Republicans, since we are a 501c3, we share a lot of students, but we can't do anything explicitly with them because that could hurt our tax status.
Second question related to the same. What is the, regarding the same question, what are the problems that you have usually with the teachers' unions?
I don't have problems with teachers unions. I'm sure Allison would have a different answer to that, but since I'm at college, those teachers unions don't really apply. I mean, we have angry faculty members all the time. I just got kicked off of campus on Tuesday, so they get mad, they try to make us off. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time, the unions don't really have anything to do with colleges. And most colleges are public, so my taxpayer dollars, all of your taxpayer dollars goes to it, so whoever wants to can go on their campus.
What college did you get?
Henderson State University,
Hey, what part of Alabama are you from?
Walker County.
Auburn County, 64.
Well, I'm from Dothan, but I don't know what's in Walker County, what city.
Jasper. Yeah, it's 45 minutes away from Birmingham. For all Arkansas people.
Not far from Goodwin.
How far from Ewan? It's not 30.
Yes, I'm saying not far from.
Oh, yeah, not far at all. Not far at all. Yes, sir.
So you had a lot of information up there about different actions we can take to help, but in terms of actually getting involved, so I'm like 26. I feel a little odd just walking into a college chapter. Is the best way to like get connected with TPUSA just attend a local chapter's meeting, or what's the
Yes. So are you a student currently anywhere?
I'm not a student.
Okay, well, because you're 26, you apply, so our age range is 18 to 26 because that's typical for like grad school students. So at Bowen, I have a chapter leader who's 25. So you're not aged out, I swear. We have plenty of older, like mid-20s chapter leaders. But yes, the best way to get involved would either be to talk to me or follow a chapter social media page and then attend their meetings and events. But everything is open to the community, so you're more than welcome to attend any event that you want.
All right, thank you, Ben. Well, next on our agenda is new business. Are there any motions or resolutions to be presented? Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to get into the filing piece and all that fun stuff. It's been dictating my life. So filing period is coming up, and so my motion is to help with filing. During the filing period, the secretary has to sign the forms that people fill out. And so I will try to be there at all of the filing days and times, but I work, and should I get sick, I would like to nominate some temporary secretaries just during filing period so that we don't lose time if I can't make it. So my motion, therefore, is I move that Mary Ann Harrington, Buzzy Jarvis, Allison Allen, I don't know if you know that, be elected as temporary secretary during the party filing period from November 3rd through November 12th. And this temporary appointment, like I said, will enable them to sign official documents as secretary in the event that I'm unable to at any point during the filing period. These roles are strictly temporary and limited to the specific filing period for contingency purposes only. So it requires a vote of the committee. So that's my motion.
Motion has been made, it requires a second.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And you have another motion.
Related to filing, again. So we're gonna need some supplies, so I'm sorry? Okay, so I move to provide supplies and support to the PCRC during filing period, November 3rd through 12th, an amount up to $175, which we have a breakdown for that. That would be copy expenses, 2 forms for county committee members, 5 forms for candidates, up to $100, pens, papers, and other miscellaneous supplies, $75. So again, my motion is for $175 to provide supplies and support during filing.
Motion has been made. Second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any other motions or resolutions? I actually have some new business I want to discuss with the committee, because I have thought of this for some time regarding a December meeting. Do you wish to have a December meeting as a required meeting? And if so, we wanted to have, we have, for those who don't know, the county committee is required to do 9 meetings a year. We have filled that obligation, so we technically do not need to do any of the meetings. We have our November meeting would be, as far as planned, would be the 3rd Thursday, which would be November 20th. Thanksgiving is the 27th. If we were to do a December meeting in the 3rd Thursday, it would be December the 18th. I mean, you could make it, you could still require it as an official meeting, or you could just make it as a Christmas party event. It's not required to attend. Some committees do this. They sometimes around November, December decide we can fill the meeting, so they, I'm kind of leaving it open to the committee of what they would like to do. We do have a guest speaker scheduled for the November meeting. Actually, we have 2 that are scheduled for November, but we do not have any scheduled for December. Yes, sir.
So based on your suggestion, I'll make a motion that we have our November meeting as normal, and then in December, as opposed to a required meeting that we use it for opportunity to do a Christmas celebration. Not required, no mandatory.
We can't hear, what is the motion?
Okay, yes, you made it.
The motion is, so for November, for us to have a regularly scheduled meeting, but that in December, to have a non-mandatory Christmas gathering where we can get together in fellowship, but it would not be a mandatory gathering. That's the motion.
Second.
Yes, second, third, of course. I like second.
Any discussion regarding the motion? That just to clarify, you would have that at the same date? December
Yeah, the same
18th? Okay. All right, any discussion?
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Have you checked if you're gonna have your meeting in December, your party, is the art committee gonna be open? That's usually they close down for Christmas around that time. So you may have to look at another location.
Okay, that is,
Just be warned.
okay, thank you for that information, that is actually pretty important. Okay, so we could work that out as location, discuss at a future time. All right, any other discussion? And seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Questions about this? All right. So one of the things I brought up, is there any questions regarding the filing period schedule?
Okay, what's your question?
I have applied to an email, they have put me on a day that I can't do.
I am day. Yeah, so I changed you according to what you said, and actually I have the schedule right here.
Okay, perfect.
And so, yeah, so thank you. And I appreciate everybody who's volunteered to help me during filing week. And Teresa has been a huge help, Jackie has been a huge help, and I have been through a major civics deep dive, learning what to do for this. But when I first joined the committee, I didn't understand, and clearly lately I didn't understand until lately, what all goes into filing period. So I know there's some new faces, especially back over here, and you guys may not understand what we're saying when we're saying filing period. Are you aware of what we're talking about?
I'm not, I'd like to know.
Right, okay, so that was me in your seat last time, and probably time for that. So what it is every 2 years when we're having an election, there's party, and Teresa, you can correct me if I get off track here, she's a pro, but there's party seats, and then there are, nonpartisan candidates, candidates. But anyway, so for Republican Party or Democrat Party, there's a filing period, and it starts on November 3rd at noon, and then it ends on November 12th at noon. And so during that period, each county committee has to have some place where the committee members and the county, the candidates that are going to file for county judge, county assessor, some places county coroner, and justice of the peace, they have to be able to go to their party's location during filing period, and then they pay their filing fees, they get, we sign and notarize, and then they take and they file with the county clerk, and that's how they officially get on the ballot. But also, which this was something I didn't understand, you, to be in the county committee, you also file every 2 years and you pay a fee. And so it's listed on our minutes, and I have some extras if anybody wants the agenda for tonight. And so our fee to join the committee is $45. You'll pay that one time, and it's good for 2 years. And so what that also does for you, you'll come here during the filing period. It's announced on our Facebook page, and it's also going to be in Sunday's paper, and then the next Sunday's paper after that. But you'll come here during filing period, during the hours that we've given, pay your $45. Then you'll, just like you're a candidate, you will go down to the county clerk's office, and you'll file. You're basically a candidate for the county. And also Teresa had a clarification. We still need to kind of dig into it, but we're kind of getting on the ballot, I guess, sort of. We're candidates. And so just like candidates are filing, there's going to be a primary. So I think there's a couple of ways to join the committee. During the year, you pay your fee, we nominate you for membership, and then we vote you in the next meeting. If you join during filing period, we don't actually nominate you, and so you might be waiting until, I guess, March. But we can also, I think, nominate you, and Reed, you probably know this better than I do, so correct me if I'm wrong, but we could also nominate you in November, or, because that'll be after filing period. Show that you paid your fees, and you can be a member, I would think, when we vote you in December or January.
You would still have to renew.
Still have to renew?
Yeah.
Okay, so you still have to wait until March?
Whatever, I forget when it is. Yeah, your best time, if you're thinking about joining, is to wait to open filing. The 2 meeting, 3 meeting, whatever it is, does not apply. And then when we batch everybody in, come that next time, you get $45. So don't join in November, then have to turn right around and pay the fee again. you know, if you join tonight, you don't want to have to come around and pay again.
No, you're gonna, but you will join during filing period.
Yes,
Okay, so it's confusing as all get out.
yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? Basically, join during filing period, and then and right now, I don't know, I guess you have to wait till March we'll get more information, to be a voting member, but we'll get more information on that. That's the part of the point of this committee is you get educated. There's still a lot of things I'm learning, but anyway, the filing period is for committee. Did you have a clarification, Teresa?
Well, if you're already a member, you need to renew your membership.
Yes.
It's time to renew, and the time to do that is during filing period.
Right.
So you'll come and pay your dues for the next 2 years.
Does filing period include the 11th?
No, it's closed, I'm glad you said that. No, filing period we're not doing it on the 11th and not the weekend.
And it'll be here.
Yes, it'll be here.
And there's hours every day during that time period that there'll be a notary and a secretary to complete all your paperwork that you need so you can go to the county and file.
Right, and so we'll answer all your questions.
Yeah.
And it's on Facebook, it'll be in the paper, it's on our GOP Pulaski County website. So anyway, I just want to make sure if everybody went clear that you have a chance to ask questions.
And real quick, isn't it true, you get on the filing week, you do that, and when you're on the ballot, you're unopposed?
Yeah, you're unopposed, you're not, yeah, you don't have to raise money, you're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're
So,
like,
one of the things
unopposed,
that says unopposed candidates.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
your
They'll
name's
tell
not
them
gonna
never
be
shown on the ballot.
Yeah, we'll never see your name. You might need to-
So is this just your candidates running for office?
No, and see, that's what's confusing. It's for candidates running for office, they'll file for, what they're running for. But no, if you want to join the committee, this is kind of the big, you come in and join during filing period. And then, so we have a convention every 2 years here with the committees of different counties go to convention. You've probably seen the big ones when, the Democratic Party or the, why did I say that? Republican Party gets together and, you'll see it on TV, they'll have their different states and stuff. Well, the counties do that within each state. We get together and we have a convention of the counties. And so I believe to be a delegate to that county convention within the state, you have to be, registered with the county clerk.
Okay.
So that's another reason you want to come here and join and file with the county clerk.
Okay.
Very confusing, I won't test you on it because, I would like, but certainly we'll be here during filing period as you get, yes.
I was under the impression that there was going to be a session from 5:30 tonight until 6, tell us newbies what we were gonna do.
There was, and I saw you walk up and I was talking and there wasn't enough people, so I will give you information, but what I'm gonna have to do is do a little Zoom call. But I'll do something before we get together. It's not gonna be super hard though, it's gonna be really easy. But yes, sir, you're right, I was gonna try to do that. So, any other questions?
So I'm completely new to local politics. What's the point? What would be the point of me joining the committee? And are there fees involved or like dues?
Just the $45, and then the reason to be involved is to go with us to the gun show, to be informed, to know what it takes to, to be a candidate. Do you know how, I'm learning this, y'all, I did not know all this stuff, so, but do you know how many state House of Representative seats there are that are in Pulaski County or that include part of Pulaski County? Okay. I believe, if I looked right now, correct me if I'm wrong, there's 14. Do you know out of 14, how many we have Republicans in office for in our Pulaski County? 5. How many Republicans are running for the state House of Representatives positions for Pulaski County? Let's go around. 6, I think. Hunter or somebody is running for one of them in Little Rock. And so, so things like that, we can learn together, understand what's going on and hear things here you wouldn't hear other places, and then, get actions to take to try to help educate other people. Sorry.
You have to be a member of the committee to vote, and to be a member of the committee to be in offices, be an officer. and all those sorts of things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes, sir, go ahead.
If I get 20 seconds to address. I know nothing about county committees until 2021. So like, you're like, what? I heard that there was a meeting, and I showed up, and they're like, this is the county. So in addition to everything they said, if you want to get better connected to the inner workings of what happens, starting at the local level and moving out, this is your lifeline of like-minded folks to learn, to get mentored, to get connected. Kind of like when you go and join a church, you know, it's a church body, you can be around folks who are like you, learn, grow, and it really will shorten that learning curve, because that's what it did for me.
So our primary purpose is to get Republicans elected into various different offices, especially those that are currently filled by Democrats. That's really the whole bottom line. And I want to say that I'm looking at some young guys over here, and I'm so happy that you guys are involved. We welcome you. If you have a question and you ask me, or you ask Ms. Teresa, or you ask, you know, one of these guys, if we don't have that answer, we're going to get that answer for you, and we will take you under our wing and help you to come along. But we're glad that you chose to come to the Republican County Committee.
And actually regarding that, since you talk about local politics, there are several special election tax increases going on across the state. I know of at least one of them that is in Pulaski County. November 18th, there is a tax increase attempt in Sherwood.
Yes, there is.
Actually, if you want to talk more about that, you can. If you have, yeah, come up here and tell some details about that.
And I have ADHD, so I'll get distracted, so please forgive me.
There you go, ma'am.
And I just learned about it a few months ago, and I was aghast because they did a special bond measure to fix our drainage and roads. Well, our mayor, her husband was the mayor of Conway. And then he worked at Pulaski County Road and Bridge for about 9 months before she got into office. Well, I swear he's the mayor. They have gone in and they have fixed no drainage, no roads, anything that we pay money for, they have not done. They've gone in anywhere there's a high property values, they've gone in and put in drainage, roundabouts, the stupidest little roundabouts you've ever seen. People sit there and they don't know what to do about them. They're just small and dumb. They've gone out and bought property to put in a gun range. Then the court and the judge wouldn't let them annex it. So they paid too much money for that property and can't even use that. So they're wanting to put in new public works, new animal shelters, a big event center, all this stuff a little further out where the newer developments are, but they will not fix our drainage issues and the roads, which is what we pay for. They want us to extend that bond measure and keep it so they can build these other things. And yet when we talk to them, they ignore us. I mean, straight up ignore us. We're going to be having a get to talk this week is on the 18th. This Saturday, we're finally going to get to talk to Mayor because she's been just avoiding everybody. But it's a mess there and trying to get the word out. And she's put in pickleball courts and she's fancied up the parks and put all these sparkly lights at City Hall. It's almost like, look over here, you don't see what we're doing over here. So if you know anybody that lives in Sherwood, tell them no, because we don't need that.
This is the part that I don't understand about that, is that, so we passed a law.
Go ahead.
I think about do that.
Special, lowering your special elections.
Yes, and then in North Little Rock, they have increased our taxes on the special election. So I saw David Ray at a fundraiser. And I said, hey, David. And I said, remember that law, that bill? And he goes, yeah, I'm the one that did it. And I said, well, guess what they did in North Little Rock? And he goes, they can't do that. The school can't increase those. And I said, well, they did. And he said, send me that information. So I emailed it to him. And it's the same thing. The law was if you want to increase taxes or move money, you have to have it in a general or
primary election. And yes, there's several, as I mentioned before, there are several places across the state of Arkansas where they are scheduling them for either the May primary of May, but they're doing it in an off election year. And I don't know how they somehow were able to do that, but it's several places across the state. I actually, in another video I did on my broadcast, I talked about several of these.
We need to find that out, because look, our laws are only as good as the people that are policing them. And I told David, I said, you may want to know why I didn't come to you sooner. I'm like, because I've got a representative and a senator. Do any of them live in Little Rock? He's like, right. And then you've got the Secretary of State who is, actually doing the ballots and that kind of stuff. I mean,
Carla, to be fair to David Ray and Tim Griffin, they've been very, very busy arresting Conrad Reynolds for 11 and a half months ago. So give him a break.
Okay, well, anybody got no special elections going on, there is at least one in Pulaski County. Yes, ma'am. In November, they were, as from what I understand, when I looked at this, is David Ray's bill limited elections to only in May and November, but it was supposed to be during election years, and for some reason, it's in off election years. Also, it's usually supposed to be, I think, either the first or second Tuesday in one of those months. However, there's some kind of holiday in the second Tuesday of November, so they're having it on the third. Veterans Day, yes, I'm sorry for that. I think the holiday. So yeah, it's exactly. Yes, sir.
Point of information, can I give a little bit of a report about the events that took place in Independence County?
Yes, we're actually up to announcements right now, so yes, go ahead.
If I can, I'd like to do that. So, I'm not sure who's aware or unaware of what actually happened on Wednesday, but a recent turn of events, for those of you guys that didn't laugh at my joke. So Conrad Reynolds has been the face in the state of Arkansas for hand-counted, hand-marked paper ballots, same-day voting with ID. And so back 11 and a half months ago, he was in Independence County who had put this matter on the ballot to go to paper ballots and to get rid of the voting machines. And he was there in the polling area conducting an exit poll. Even by the indictment, it said that that's what he was doing. And so our Attorney General, our Republican Attorney General, Tim Griffin, who I voted for and donated to his campaign, and I voted for Sarah Huckabee Sanders, they have decided that they, at a state level, are going to bring an investigation into Conrad and Dusty. And so what they did in Independence County is that they charged them with electioneering. And Conrad didn't actually get charged with that because the judge backed off of that charge. Dusty did, okay? And they charged them 11 and a half months after the event. They charged Conrad for what amounts to loitering. The word loitering is not in the statute, but that is exactly what by description, by definition, that's what they've charged him for. Now, if anybody remembers the term lawfare, okay? This is what they were doing to President Trump, where they were bringing these trumped up charges. This is happening within our own party, and we need to hold our people responsible, okay? Like them or don't like them. We don't need to be bringing charges against Conrad Reynolds. And first of all, his attorney staff, I talked to the attorneys, the same attorney that represented Sidney Powell in her case in Georgia. The people of Georgia versus Sidney Powell for those charges back here in 2020. That's part of her staff. of Conrad staff. But nevertheless, if you're not familiar with that, I would just say that it's all over social media, and now it's got national social media attention. Mike Lindell, General Michael Flynn, Sidney Powell, Gateway Pundit. There are several people that are now bringing national attention to this incident. It's blatantly obvious that it is just to pick and poke in his eyes because he is the face and the voice for paper ballots, which ask this question: why do Republicans not want us to be able to verify our vote? You can't verify your vote if when you put it in the tabulator, it instantly becomes a digitalized. So anyway, enough of that. There's a.
Thank you so much. There was also a lawsuit regarding Franklin County, actually the Senate race for former Terry Stivelfield's seat. There was actually a court hearing yesterday regarding that. So far, I haven't heard the updates of how that's going to be ruled. There's, according to the law, there's supposed to be an election held, I believe, 150 days if a Arkansas legislative seat is vacated. And so there is someone, I believe it's Colt Shelby from Franklin County, who filed a lawsuit in Pulaski County Court regarding that. So that is
They did win the
ongoing.
hearing. There was a hearing to have it dismissed, and that happened on Tuesday. No, on Wednesday.
It was Wednesday.
They had the hearing on Wednesday, and the judge let the case go forward so that the charges could be brought to the governor for pushing that out past 120 days.
So it's an ongoing court.
It is an ongoing and active.
All right. Are there any other announcements or any other announcements? Yes, sir.
Just to piggyback on that, that does affect, I'm a candidate for District 70, North Rock, Sherwood, Bo Renshaw. That will affect what y'all are talking about. All of that will piggyback on Stubblefields for Carlton Wing's vacated seat. So whatever happens there will happen to me in my race. So I'm very, very interested in what's going to happen with all of this.
Your position is that you want the election to take place within that time period.
That's the way I read it. Yeah, so here's my position. What is everybody going to go do in June? You're going to go on vacation.
Yep.
This does not help me. So, it's going to be a get out the vote for me if it stays on June 9th. So anyways, so yeah, I want to be able to have a special election that is winnable, and I'm going to do everything I can on my part. But it will, whatever happens with that will happen.
All right, yes, ma'am.
Well, I'd like to point out that he has to run 2 campaigns. He has to pay 2 $3,500 filing fees. All of that has happened. If there's a primary, if there's a runoff, I mean, there's a lot. This is majorly complicated, this race. So he needs help. He needs volunteers. He needs financial help. He needs
All right.
all of the above. It's complicated.
It's already complicated as it is, and it can make things even more complicated. All right. Are there any other announcements? Seeing none, motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. If you want to discuss the
All right, I gotta do one thing real quick. Well, folks, this is Kenny with JustTheRightAngle. Yes, ma'am.
So my son's running for circuit court judge, And I'm wondering, do you guys ever allow them, it's a nonpartisan ways to come and answer questions?
Oh, like to be a guest speaker? Yes. Well, like I said, we have 2 speakers for November. In January. Yeah, email me.
Okay.
Or actually contact Jill.
I myself, I'm interested in learning more.
You yell at my wife again, we're gonna have problems.
Okay, hold on.
My wife is out the car because she says you yell at her, and I believe her more than I believe you. That's my wife, and you do not talk to her that way. Do you understand? That is my wife. Thank you.
Hey, good to see you guys. The thing about the party is most attention. Structure underneath. That's really part of the ball. Hi, brother.
Please get this done now. Oh, great. Hello. All right. Sorry, folks. This is Kenny. Just to let people know, to go visit rumble.com. It's a great website. I'm sorry if I didn't have the little street. Rumble is fastly growing. It has no sign of slowing down. I think I did what I was supposed to do regarding that. So, yeah, visit rumble.com. I left a QR code up there, so it should work. Well, folks, overall meeting went well, just fine. It's County, it's Camera seat. Candidates, not sure yet regarding that. I got a hello, Randy Sams. Senate District seats includes the southwestern Pulaski County. This is Kim Hammer's seat. It was terminated out. Are you planning on any speaking tie-ins for the 26 primary candidates? Yeah, we actually had several people who are running for office. I'm responding to a Facebook message. I have a lot of stuff that I'm juggling here at the same time. But anyway, folks, that's our meeting. Tune in. Our next meeting, as I mentioned before, is scheduled for November, the third Thursday in November, and it'll be November 20th. We have 2 speakers that are scheduled for that event, and then December we'll have a Christmas party. I may or may not go to that, and then January we start all over again. We should have some speakers scheduled for them. Find a way to get involved. If you're not in a county committee, you need to get in one. This is where you learn about things, how to deal with them, how to do with stuff, how to get involved, how to run for office, how to defeat tax increases, which we're still having here. But anyway, I've got to shut down. I got a bunch of stuff to do. Thanks for chatting with me.
I put my number in there, so Norma Rose.
Okay.
So you could, I guess, call me so I'll have your information. Just put on your comments, and I'm hoping to have Robert Taylor's invited us.
What was your name again?
Norma Rose.
No, in your contacts. Gotcha. There, I just text you my name.
And so what is the process? We'll just email you or?
Yeah, just text me. Like I said, November, I know I got 2 speakers, and then I'm not sure about January. I have to look at it. All right, let me go ahead and end this. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you. Remember, when the wicked rule, the people groan. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. I think I may have flipped that around, but where's the verse of the Bible? Find a way to get involved. So you need to reform the Republican Party, as you heard before as well. But yeah. All right, folks, I'm going to end this.